Ambassador, good morning. Thank you for joining in. Thank you,
Very warm
Ramachandra. Yes, Neha, please continue.
Yeah. A very warm greetings to each one of you joining us in Zoom and through other social media portals which is streaming it live. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm more than grateful and honored to be virtually greet and welcome each one of you on the occasion of International Youth Day. On such a day, we at Youth for Green Hydrogen is celebrating intergenerational leadership on Youth for Green Hydrogen, creating a world for all ages. Without much delay, let me welcome Mariana Restrepo to introduce our young dynamic ambassador who has been a constant support to all of us at Youth of India Foundation and now also at Youth for Green Hydrogen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Restrepo. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our first speaker today, politician, economist, and lawyer, Rodrigo Carazo. He is the former ambassador of Costa Rica to the United Nations and the former president of UNICEF. He has also served as a consultant for international organizations as well as for private entities. He has 48 years of experience as a businessman in commercial, industrial, tourist, agricultural, and service sectors. It is an honor to have you here, Mr. Carazo.
Muchas gracias, Mariana. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Welcome to this activity. Welcome to all of you pushers of this fledgling movement. Youth for Green Hydrogen is a must. And by doing this, you're walking the talk. Thank you, and welcome. The world needs green hydrogen, no doubt. You're going to hear much about that from people that really know about it. But we also need that those who are available be the leaders, be the pushers, be that youth, be the driving force behind the push for green hydrogen. The world needs this youth at the driving seat. Decarbonization is a must in a country, in Costa Rica, and all over the world. It has been announced that we have to get rid of all fossil fuels. We have to decarbonize steel, we decarbonize energy, shipping, chemical industry, and so on. Well, it's early in the morning here in Costa Rica, and I've asked my grandson Antonio Munoz to be here because he is one of the people who should take that driver's seat and push forth for the changes that we need. Antonio, you know my position. I'm those who think that you should take the lead, that others should stand aside. How can you, perhaps today, put some rationale into that extreme position of mine and find out what type of intergenerational partnerships we may forge? What do you expect from your elders to do? Antonio, your floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. As the ambassador said, as my grandfather said,
That's better.
Everything has to work with partnerships, intergenerational partnerships. I think that the youth first has to take advantage of the already existing spaces that we have in the subject. For example, you guys as Youth for Green Hydrogen are already creating a really good space for more young people to join in. There's also green hydrogen, and in the international aspect, there's IRENA, the International Renewable Energy Agency, and there's more and more and more places where young people can already join in and do their part. Afterwards, after joining and taking advantage of the tools that already exist, I think it's essential to make example, to do it well, how my grandfather said earlier, to walk the talk, right? And by walking the talk, by making example, we are showing that we are capable of joining the battlefield per se. And then we can argue, and we can tell everyone that we are able of working in partnerships, in intergenerational partnerships. I like to argue that there is a transition to be made. It can't be I can't, like, youth can't take the position overnight, because we still need to learn a lot, but we still need to get in the tables. We still need to get in the operation rooms and in the labs and in every room available, so that the future can be youth. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Antonio. But see what's going on now. We are going to war, and to wars that do not more than enhance and kill many people, that enhance the need for fossil fuels. We are highlighting once more the importance of the industrial military complex. We need clean energy. We know that we've made a mess out of our environment, out of our world. You must be engaged, engagement, empowerment, evolve. That is the motto of this movement. You need to be part, the most fundamental part of the workforce, leading the path towards this change into green hydrogen. We are doing that in Costa Rica. We have big programs to enhance the availability of our renewable grid to be put into the creation of hydrogen. Let us hear from the distinguished speakers today, and let's keep on being engaged. And thank you very much, Mariana.
Ambassador, you have been a great supporter, and this has always been the kind that you believe in intergenerational leadership. In the past as well, you made sure while you were in the office in New York, you had a young gentleman right next to you to discuss about the UN Day. And the way you keep on giving platforms to young people is always inspiring. I think, Antonio, it is nice to see how your grandfather really brought you in. And now we know that Costa Rica has a person who would be leading this youth for green hydrogen there as well. Thank you so much for that. And I see Claire already giving a heads up. So Ambassador, thank you so much for your message, also for joining in. We continue to seek your support and guidance as we drive this movement forward. And wishing each one of you a happy International Day as well, and to you as well, Ambassador.
Thank you very much, and good luck and good success in all your efforts.
Thank you very much, Mr. Carazo. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Ramachandru, former special representative of Government of Telangana, India. He is an electronics and communication engineer from Osmania University, management graduate from IIM, and his main area of expertise is in development of industries, mainly in electronics and defense products. He encouraged Indian industries to take up defense production by issuing industrial licenses to them. He is seriously concerned with fast deteriorating climate change, environmental protection, and conservation of water, soil, and energy. His motto is Save Mother Earth. Currently, he is special representative of Telangana in New Delhi since June 2014. Let's welcome Mr. Ramachandru for the opening remarks.
Thank you, Mario, and thank you, Shailesh, for giving me this opportunity to meet the youngsters across the globe. And this is a great opportunity, not only for me as an individual, but also representing India at this forum along with you. Dear friends, namaste from India. My namastes are to all dignitaries, young friends, and Ambassador Casario. On the occasion of the International Youth Day, I congratulate all of you, youth of the world. I sincerely thank and felicitate the organizers for celebrating international leadership in green hydrogen. As rightly the ambassador spoke about the partnerships, and this is where I think you have made a good beginning, and I see several memoranda of understanding having signed, not only with here in India, but also countries like Bangladesh and a couple of others I've seen. I must congratulate you, Shailesh, and your team. Thank you for giving me opportunity to speak on the subject, which I've been sharing with Shailesh at various times, very, very close to my heart. I myself call as a green soldier. Friends, the youth you are the future of the world. I think I'm really happy to see Antonio speaking on this occasion, young boy. You are vibrant, energetic, educated, skillful, compassionate to lead the world for all ages. And you have proven in recent times across the globe, particularly in African countries and Asian countries, the youth coming to the rescue during the pandemic. And it's very, very effectively. And I must thank all of you for saving several thousands and thousands of lives. Let's all strive towards sustainable environment for everyone to progress and not to leave anyone behind. Dear friends, after seeing Antonio, I just remembered my grandson who's 10-year-old Viraj. Recently, I think they had an opportunity to select a subject to concentrate during this year for 1 year. And I was thinking that he would pick up something, either it could be in the sports or in a computer, artificial intelligence. But to my pleasant surprise, my daughter-in-law and son were sharing the other day that he has chosen the subject called sustainability. Believe me, a young boy of 10-year-old, not even 10, this 8th of September, he'll be 10. And thinking of sustainability, and that's a pleasant thing for us. And you youngsters are going to show the way for the world. Celebrating international leadership in green hydrogen is a progressive step towards cleaner, greener, and effective energy. An effective platform, this is an effective platform for presenting to the next generation the clean energy opportunities. The youth meet will hopefully, I hope, provide impetus for a global collaboration, as Ambassador spoke, in building sustainable and effective ways for not only production and storage, but also transportation, distribution, and universal deployment of hydrogen technologies. I sincerely urge the meet to deliberate and formulate recommendations on formation of hydrogen alliances at various levels, maybe national level, international level, sub-international level, continent level, various things at university level, things like that. And setting up of centers of excellence in select universities and research organizations across the globe that will assist in capacity building through a strong knowledge base and R&D. I dare say here, I want to share, for the last couple of years, I've been stressing with the government of India. And recently also, I made a request to my Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, to at least allocate 100,000 crores of rupees for taking research and development across universities and centers of excellence, some research organizations in industries and places like that. This is for at least development of the catalyst for breaking water into hydrogen and oxygen. And that's what I had suggested And I hope my Prime Minister would respond very positively. Dear friends, the young friends, you may explore emerging opportunities in green hydrogen ecosystem and formulate future plan of action for production and effective utilization. Now here I want to say something very little serious. Every nation in the world, I repeat, every nation in the world is working towards energy security, as energy is the important parameter of economic progress. Yes, Karim. There are conflicts between nations on account of securing long-term energy sources and disturbing the world peace. And you're all aware where is this conflict is taking place and what for. I feel the green hydrogen, it's my firm conviction, not just a feeling. Green hydrogen is likely to provide energy security to the nations and hopefully reduce the avoidable conflicts, and we can have a perpetual peace. In fact, it's going to bring a paradigm shift in the politics and economics. Friends, you're all aware today there is nothing economics at international level, pure economics or a politics. Either it is a political economics or economic of politics. Neither of, not individually, not separately. But this is going to bring the green hydrogen and alternative source of energy, going to bring in a paradigm shift in this and going to have a long, long lasting peace, which we are all dreaming about that. And you're all aware, but I just want to mention here, hydrogen can be produced from a variety of sources, and also it is abundantly available in the nature, but only requires, it is not a pure form, segregation is going to cost.
Right.
It can be produced from water, fossil fuel, biomass, which is called producing into called green hydrogen, blue hydrogen, gray hydrogen, and I don't know how many hues are there. But at least now I want to concentrate on green hydrogen, and these all can be used as a source of energy or fuel. And green hydrogen is the one which is produced by using green energy. That's why I call it green hydrogen.
Right.
Green hydrogen is the future of the world. I suppose the thing that is going to help the world with a quantum leap in terms of climate is a field of green hydrogen. Now here I want to make it an appeal to all. The biggest challenge for a green hydrogen is development of economically and commercially viable catalysts containing ill intention of certain interested groups not to allow development of and progress of alternative source of energy, including green hydrogen. These are very big challenges, and I request you all for your active intelligence. I urge all the nations through you to wholeheartedly join the process. As far as India is concerned, we have set up National Hydrogen Mission with an aim to India to becoming a global hub of green hydrogen. And Prime Minister Mr. Modi had announced in our last Independence Day exactly 1 year back. India has also formulated various policies and programs for a green hydrogen. Friends, I appeal to you all to not only green hydrogen, but also get into various things in the development of the world, safety of the world, and peace of the world. As far as concerned, I will always be with you, and I assure you that my total involvement. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your remarks. You have always been very passionate about not only the green hydrogen, but in general about climate action. And I think it was very, very, very supportive of you to advise, to share while you had been in touch with various agencies and departments of the government to create a innovation fund for research and skill development. I think that becomes very crucial, because that is also a part of which while we were there hosted by the Green Hydrogen Organization in Barcelona, and we had the world's first youth declaration. That was also one of the key factors that young people came together like Maria, Kirill, Mariana, and many others to develop that declaration in telling that we need to have an innovation fund for young people as well to drive this movement ahead. So thank you so much, Ramachandru sir, for strengthening our belief, for strengthening our declaration, and thank you for participating here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kirill, are you here?
Yes, Silas, thank you for having me. Please join me in welcoming Yasara Ramanaike. Yasara is a youth advocate for sustainable development goals and human rights in Sri Lanka. As a dedicated young volunteer, Yasara inspires and empowers young people across the country through many initiatives, notably G17 Ambassadors Consortium and empowering undergraduates. In 2020, she worked together with the children's author, Sibyl Wetasinghe, to develop a trilingual human rights booklet for children to promote human rights as responsibilities with the road to rights. Today, she will be talking about the role of educational institutions and G17 in driving energy transition. We are glad to have you here, Sarah.
Thank you so much. I'm very much honored to be part of these eminent speakers and also share a few insights on how we can transform our education system, basically universities and colleges into a green transition space. And of course, share some of my stories of G17, which is an undergraduate network. So first of all, I want to wish all the young people happy International Youth Day. And also, I want to highlight on the fact, of course, we all know that this climate change has very much negative effect from each and every one of us, and we cannot be immune from it. So I want to share some of the personal experiences that I have been facing because I'm from Sri Lanka, and during the couple of months, we have been facing a lot of political and economic issues, but it was a man-made situation. Even though it was like that, we were feeling the effects of energy security, and we were actually struggling a lot in terms of getting our daily work done. Basically, the transportation, health, education, literally everything was threatened. So it was very hard time for us to, get through the day, and there's no electricity for us to do whatever the thing that we want to do, even study online or anything. So it has been a huge challenge, and it has basically given me the realization of three factors. One is the resources that we're using. We are basically taking it for granted. We don't actually, feel that we need to save or we need to use it sustainably. There's no consciousness. And on the other hand, we don't even think about the negative impact. The more that we use, the more we overuse, we create a lot of negative impact that we don't even see. And when in situation like this, only you will get some time to think, oh, okay, this much of fuel I have been using for the entire year, and this much of energy I've been using. But after all, I have not even, transformed myself into a sustainable way. So I would say this time period for most of our young people, I would say it has been a wake-up call. And on the other hand, basically the third point is, even though we were facing a situation like this, we don't have the capability to move into a sustainable or renewable energy method, because we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the technology to go right away to it, and we don't have proper awareness. So understanding the entire context, I understood that there is a need. There is a very urgent need that we need to work towards mitigating, specifically moving into sustainable and renewable energy methods, so that we can improve our daily lives. And also, when a situation like this comes, we can face better. So in order to do this in better context, of course, the government and policy needs to be implemented. But then on the other hand, young people like you and me, we have a great authority and we have a great capability to take things ahead. And after all, we represent almost half the world's population. And we need to take things into our hand, ideate, and be innovative on creating and ideating better solution for a better world. In order to do all of these things, we need right knowledge. And the best place to get knowledge is basically education institutions, universities, and colleges. They are the places where they basically execute and disseminate knowledge. And these universities basically set examples and we provide best practices to create climate conscious young people and also tech savvy young people who will become the future industry professionals to lead green economics. So that is where universities, educational institutes plays a huge role. And there are two aspects that I have identified. One is all these universities, educational institutes need to transit their energy system into 100% renewable energy place. The reason is colleges and universities consume major commercial use of energy basically in each and every country. So transforming them, basically the university into a renewable energy place, it's going to affect a lot to the entire economy in that country. And also it will inspire more young people and also industries to convert themselves, basically transit into a better energy source. And then on the other hand, the second point, universities are known for their technical training and basically providing innovation opportunities for young people, and also giving them spaces to upskill and deploying new clean energy technologies while educating students in the process. So after all, universities are one of the very key components in providing the right knowledge for all of these young people. And that's why educational institutes, colleges have an important role in terms of doing. I mean, I'm now talking only about young people, but then all of this education needs to come from the ground as well. Ground as in, you know, children. So children also need to have the understanding and the consciousness. So by the time when they come to a certain age or becoming a youth, they also have the understanding and they also can bring better solutions for all the problems that we are currently facing. And after all, the reason that we always talk about young people is young people will be going into future industries, and they are the ones who, after all, making decisions with the right knowledge. So that's why universities are very important. And after all, that is why the G17 University Ambassadors Consortium is always advocating for. And that's why we work with young people. And currently we're working with 74 universities on sharing knowledge and giving them spaces to research and generate action. So we are also very much privileged to partner up with the Youth for Green Hydrogen movement and to work along with the 74 universities and also young people coming from 15 different countries. And before I conclude, I want to share this quote that actually inspired me a lot today. This was shared by Jamie Cassatt, who is also an author. So he mentioned, instead of asking students what they want to be when they grow up, we should ask them what problems they want to solve. So this changes the conversation from who do I want to work for to what do I need to learn to be able to do that. So it's very important to upskill ourselves with right knowledge and also with skills so that we can perform better and also we can solve most of the pressing issues across the globe. And with that, I want to conclude my remarks and thank you so much for the Green Hydrogen team for having us and having the G17 global community. And we look forward to do a lot of things together and generate more actions. Yes, and thank you.
Yes, Sarah. While you were speaking, I could see a lot of faces with a smile. And I think what you really talked about made a lot of sense. I think it is very important to ask what is the problem that we want to solve collectively. And I think you were very on spot to talk about the capacity of skilling up. And I'm so happy on behalf of the entire team, the Secretariat of Youth for Green Hydrogen, in strengthening this partnership with G17 Consortium in driving our efforts towards developing a green world and the green future that we all envision and think of. Thank you so much, Yasara, and let this partnership evolve as we discuss on strengthening the green credit for the universities, in skilling them in making every individual climate oriented, because we don't need climate specialists, as Niki mentioned in the closing remarks in Barcelona back then. We don't need any more climate specialists. We need every individual to be climate oriented. Be a lawyer, he or she should be having an understanding of the environmental law as well, and talk about tech savvy. It should all revolve around the climate and the green environment that we think of. Thank you so much, Yasara, once again.
Hi, now it's a great pleasure for me to introduce our next speaker, Indian politician, Mr. Shantu Thakur. He has been a member of Lok Sabha for Bangaon since 2019. He is the Minister of State for Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways for the Government of India. Welcome, Mr. Shantanu. It's a great pleasure to have you here.
Chandan, let's have the video first, and then we will have Alok to talk about the MOU.
Yeah, sure.
Namaskar. Our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has announced the National Hydrogen Mission with the aim of making India a hub for the production and export of green hydrogen, which will gear and make India energy independent before the country complete 100 years of its independence in 2047. From its spend of 160 billion of foreign exchange every year, India is likely to double its import in the next 15 years. India is prioritizing green hydrogen as a potential solution to decarbonize hard to abate sectors such as refinery, ammonia, methanol, iron and steel and heavy duty trucking. According to the report by Niti Aayog, the cumulative value of the green hydrogen making in India could be 8 billion by 2030 and 340 billion by 2050. IIT Kharagpur, IIT Madras, Daralbarg Education Institute, IIT Jodhpur, CCRI Karaikundi and Barach are aiming to develop a scalable design for a solar hydrogen generation system using multiple technologies. I congratulate to youth for green hydrogen, which start from India, materializing the vision of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Damodar Modi ji, and have now mobilized youngest over 70 countries in building the youth independence in providing climate solution. On the International Youth Day, I wish all of you very successful life ahead. India being the youngest population has been the commitment of Honorable Prime Minister in investing and building skill of young people in response to the fourth industrial revolution, contributing to the green and blue economy. I am equally committed to ensure that young people are supported through their leadership and innovation in creating solutions to achieve a renewable economy. I am impressed by Youth for Green Hydrogen led by Sailesh and Ravi working towards strengthening India's leadership in bringing together the world to come to be united to find climate solution through green hydrogen. I look forward to hosting and meeting all of you here in India and look forward to inviting young entrepreneurs, academicians, policy makers and activists working on youth for green hydrogen as well celebrate 75 years of India's independence in this Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Namaskar. Our honorable
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your message. And I think it really strengthens and solidifies our efforts in trying to bring out the Youth for Green Hydrogen Assembly, where the Minister has himself also invited people from across the world in India. And I think as we celebrate the 75 years of independence, this could be monumental in leading and taking this forward. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your commitment. Alok, over to you.
Thank you, Shailesh. Thank you. Namaste. Good evening, everybody. I'm very much glad to be here. As we know, today is the International Youth Day, and we are celebrating international leadership in green hydrogen, creating a world for all ages. Now, we are much excited to share that we signed a partnership with Hyster Energy, which is an American-based company, to establish the North America first Youth for Green Hydrogen chapter. Hyster Energy is facilitating the transition to a fossil-free energy environment by developing and advancing renewable hydrogen at a scale through the development, commercialization, and operation of renewable hydrogen hub projects. I would like to request Ms. Claire Behar, who is the Chief Commercial Officer in Hyster Energy, to explain about the MU. Ms. Claire Behar, thank you.
Thank you. And I'm thrilled to join on occasion of International Youth Day. And thank you for the Youth for Green Hydrogen for hosting wonderful event, bringing together all the green hydrogen champions across the globe. My name is Claire Behar. I'm the CCO of Hyster Energy. We are very excited to announce our partnership with the Youth for Green Hydrogen. And through this partnership, we are going to be standing up and establishing the first North American chapters, and really beginning as early as K through 12, all the way through university levels, supporting youth education, mentorship, and ensuring really youth participation from very early age. Really, we see it critical to make sure that there's youth participation in the decision-making. And really, this is how we're going to drive green hydrogen, because the green hydrogen generation is the youth generation of the youth. And so really, we need to start now in supporting, inspiring, and championing the next generation for green hydrogen innovation. So really looking forward to working together with Youth for Green Hydrogen, establishing North American chapters and beyond. It's really, the time is now, and it's all hands on deck really to solve the problems with decarbonization. We know that green hydrogen is the solution for a safe and reliable transition off of fossil fuels. And it's all hands on deck. We need all ages. So thank you, Green Hydrogen Organization. Really excited to be bringing and championing and supporting this in North America and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire.
Mm-hmm.
It's just virtual, so the best way to find the MOU. Thank you so much, Claire, and really support and also thanks to the Green Hydrogen Organization, Jonas, and Claire, and to Laura for coming up and in taking this ahead. I think it is very monumental as we sign this partnership with Hyster Energy. in expanding, in leading our efforts in the North America region, and then expanding to all of Americas as discussed. Thank you so much again, once again, to you and to Laura. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, now is the turn of Francisco Calenga. He's a technical advisor, special assistant to the Ministry of Mines and Energy of the government of Namibia. He drafts policies for green hydrogen and synthetic fuel, along with spearheading the development of green hydrogen strategy and roadmap. He also possesses extensive knowledge in energy transition, energy systems, technology, energy economics, and more. And that's why it's a great honor to have you here with us. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much for that warm welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you find yourself, in cognizance of the time difference. It's such an honor and a privilege to showcase the leadership of Namibia in encouraging youth participation and towards the energy transition in the renewable space, and specifically in the green hydrogen. So as we commemorate today, which is the International Youth Day, I want to say Happy International Youth Day, and congratulations for taking up these torches, young people across the globe, and trying to give meaningful contribution to this noble cause. Now, as I earlier stated a while ago, when I had the chance to speak about Namibia's leadership on the 5th of June on the World Environmental Day, I committed in establishing the Youth for Green Hydrogen of the Namibian chapter, and that to be supported specifically by the government of Namibia, but in particular the Ministry of Mines and Energy. And just to say that today it really gives me a humble privilege to share that the leadership of my Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy, we have established the Youth for Green Hydrogen Namibia chapter, which will not only focus on mobilizing young people in Namibia, but will also reach out in strengthening youth leadership and participation in the Southern African region and further to the African region also. Now, this chapter will also lead towards establishing preparatory meetings, dialogues, discussions within Namibia, Southern African region, and the entire African region as well. Now, it's our commitment, and we look forward in hosting that the South African Regional Meet of Youth Green Hydrogen takes place in Namibia, where we'll be able to bring together youth across the world and be able to spearhead the energy transition also on the basis of what have already been founded. And I think as a technical advisor and a special assistant on green hydrogen to the Ministry of Mines and Energy, and as a young person to say, of course, this commitment of us is only going to further strengthen Namibia's commitment to youth leadership in the climate action. Therefore, it gives me so much joy and say that I am humbled to have had my young friend Sailesh in driving these calls, and I had in making sure that we bring inclusive participation to young people for the green hydrogen. Never in my past have I ever known of initiative that is mobilized at such short notice, more than a month and a half, in providing climate solutions to achieving the Paris Agreement. And I think it's worth mentioning again that Namibia is resolutely committed to this Paris Agreement, and we are going to do everything that's within our power, of course, with the help of international relations, with the help of our friends like yourselves, Sailesh, and of course, with the help of the fellow youth to make sure that we are really on the table. I'm sure precedence has been set in a lot of countries whereby youth are not on the table and the countries are run just by veterans or senior people. But this is our chance as young people, as youth, to take up the torch, to take up space in our different communities, in our different nations, in our different space, to make sure that we are visible and we give meaningful contribution towards this nascent industry. Other than that, thank you very much, Sailesh, for having me. And this marks us as our first launch for the Green Hydrogen Namibian chapter. And we are going to relaunch when I call you to Namibia sometime soon, when we are going to have a youth in Daba on green hydrogen and mining, just to make sure that the youth participate and they have given equal opportunities across the value chain of green hydrogen. Other than that, please allow me to say happy Youth International Day, and thank you for having me. Thank you so much, Selesh.
Thank you so much, Francisco, and to Honorable Tom Alvindo, Minister of Mines and Energy, for this commitment. I think I think this kind of leadership comes only with people when we have like CEOs like Jonas Moberg from the Green Hydrogen Organization, and along with Eric, when he gave us that opportunity in sitting on the table, in creating the decisions and understanding how we can lead it forward. And as we speak, I remember that rightly, while you were here on June 5th, you made that commitment, and now from June 5th to the August 12th, it is really happening. So really look forward to visiting Namibia. I think this would be the first trip that would happen, and I'm so eager already to be there. Thank you, Franz. As a virtual thing, could we have the MOU? Oh.
That's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalinga.
Please join me in welcoming Nyenke Homan. Nyenke is a former regional minister at the province of Groningen in the northern Netherlands, a chair of the Sustainable Hydrogen Club and co-founder of SDGproof.org. Her main focus is energy transition, green hydrogen, and climate adaptation. She specializes in national/international energy systems, where green hydrogen has been the missing link. Ms. Homan joined the board of Green Hydrogen Organization in December 2021, where she's been doing meaningful work in implementing green hydrogen as an alternative to fossil fuel. Today, she'll be talking about just and sustainable resource governance in renewable energy for future generations. It's an honor to have you here with us, Ms. Homan.
Oh, thank you for the wonderful announcement, and what a great day, and also wonderful to be here. So thank you very much, everyone. And yes, I heard some wonderful questions and important notices, and especially one like what problem do you want to solve? And well, to give you some background from how I started in the green hydrogen economy. A couple of years ago, I used to be a regional minister in the northern Netherlands. And actually the northern Netherlands are famous because of the natural gas field. And the natural gas field was used to, well, supply, of course, natural gas for industry, to heat our houses, but also it was used in like, well, a lot of other countries. So we really felt responsible, and it brought us a lot of jobs. But it also brought us earthquakes that damaged our houses. So we were in a crisis because we had to get rid of the natural gas because of the earthquakes and also because of climate change. So we really had a problem to solve. So what we did is we put people together and said, well, okay, how are we going to make this change? And what we did, we made like a stakeholder group. So not only industry and not only the energy sector, but also knowledge institutes, young people, the governments. And we said, well, we have a problem to solve. What can be the solution? And then one of the knowledge, well, very famous people right now, Professor Ad van Wijk, said, well, green hydrogen is a solution, but it is not easy. But actually, we were also motivated to really solve this problem. We made a plan together. And that was quite new because the difference between like the fossil fuel sector and the green hydrogen sector is that fossil fuel and the use and production of it grew organically the last decades. And now we have to switch to green hydrogen, to a sustainable economy, to reduce carbon emissions in like 10 years. And in my heart, it feels like we have to do it in 2 years. So we were in a hurry. And we said we have to do it together. So let's be ambitious, do it together, really keep in mind what problem we have to solve and make a plan. So we made a plan 2030. We made an investment agenda, and what we did is actually we asked, and that's the question, what problem do we want to solve? And you all know the Sustainable Development Goals, of course. And if you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, you can see immediately on the website what are the gaps between, like in a region, the gaps between the current situation and the goals you want to reach. So what we did is we created like a roadmap based on the gaps to the Sustainable Development Goals. Like, of course, we need new energy, and we have to bring more prosperity to our youth, but we also have to involve small and medium enterprises because they didn't have enough jobs in our region. And especially if we should cut down the natural gas, they all were depending on it because it brought us jobs, and they were really afraid that if they would lose the natural gas, they would also lose their jobs. So we already had a gap to, local employment. And so we asked the questions, what are the gaps to the Sustainable Development Goals we want to reach? And we made a plan based on it. And after being a regional minister for 7 years, we reached a lot. So we already have a flourishing regional green hydrogen economy. We have like one of the small enterprises that changed from 5 employees to 200. It's retrofitting and building green hydrogen trucks. So we have a lot of green hydrogen trucks. We have the street sweepers on green hydrogen. We have train on green hydrogen. We, of course, produce our own green hydrogen, even on landfills. So the garbage disposal trucks can fill their fuel over there, get the garbage, bring it over there and refuel again. So actually, it was a solution to a lot of gaps to the Sustainable Development Goals we want to reach. And after a couple of years, said, well, this is wonderful. And I think we can create those hydrogen valley as we build it over here together with industry, transport, of course, the production of green hydrogen. We can copy that way of working with knowledge institutes to other places. So after I quit it as a regional minister, I started the Sustainable Hydrogen Club and Impact Hydrogen, on which we work by analyzing regions, what are the gaps to the Sustainable Development Goals? For example, lack of water or lack of electricity. We just heard one of the previous speakers about it. Can we share the electricity that is produced to green hydrogen? Can we share a part of it with the local economy to let it flourish and create green growth over there also? That can also contribute to one of the other Sustainable Development Goals. So what we do, we start green hydrogen value chains, but we do it by designing with impact. So we start indeed by questioning what problems do you want to solve in this region, and how can green hydrogen contribute to the solutions for those problems. And that can also make green hydrogen not only be a game changer in the energy system, but also in the socio-economic system. And I think this is what we need, leadership in regions. So we're now starting like sustainable hydrogen valleys all over the world. And for that leadership and to see what kind of problems you are dealing with, I want to invite you to, see if there's a hydrogen valley development in your region, and say, hi, I want to see if you can also solve the problems we are facing. So thank you. And I think there's a lot to discuss today and tomorrow. So hope to see you again.
Thank you so much, Nikki, for your message. Thank you for participating in and for igniting the thoughts among the young people and how it is important in leading the green hydrogen dialogue and movement. Thank you.
Warm greetings to Alicia Carrasco. Alicia is the founder and CEO of Olivo Energy, a consulting firm which specializes on aggregation of distributed energy resources. Her work focuses on bringing together regulations, legislative trends, and competitive implementation in the areas of energy transition. She also co-founded and leads the Spanish Association for Aggregation and Flexibility, Enta Agregación y Flexibilidad. Today, Alicia will talk about the importance of green hydrogen in different sectors and the impact it's going to have on our future energy grid. Please, warm greetings to Alicia.
Alicia, we are not able to hear you.
Hi, everyone. First, I would like to thank you for the invitation and also the opportunity to be listening to the great speakers and the initiative. What about now? Can you hear me now? Better. Hello? No.
Yes, Alicia.
Hi?
Yes, it's audible.
Now, I'm going to take my camera off. So,
Alicia, we don't have your audio clear.
Quickly speak about this, how we are focusing on
Alicia, we're not able to get your audio clear. Could you please? Maybe we could have the next speaker, Mariana or Kiran.
Is the sound better now?
Yeah, oh, okay. Fantastic. Yes.
So
Perfect.
let's try here. I left the room. Okay, so what I wanted to share with you, I'm gonna share the screen, and you can see is how okay, I cannot, anyway, sorry, I cannot share the screen.
We will help that. Chandan, could you please share the screen and help Alicia with that?
Yes, sure.
Okay, now, so we are an energy strategy consulting, and we try to focus on what are the models, the business model for the energy transition of the future, and we do support governments, associations, and business and corporation and large consumers into promoting innovation and promoting the actions they have to take towards decarbonization and regasification. So aiming to do that, we are working with different customers, and we do different things. And all of them, all these customers we have here, have interest in hydrogen, which means hydrogen obviously have to be green, otherwise we are not moving toward energy transition. But what we do know is that different people need different things from hydrogen, and they have different expectations. And also from the time of when you are thinking about what are the skills you need for green hydrogen, you have to think that it's a very complementary vector and capabilities to promote energy transition, and also to promote the final consumers are able to decarbonize and degasify, to stop using gas in the processes. So so it is the way we work is we identify the challenge, we analyze, we solve, and we accompany. And this, in all the cases, we have to use different skills. And what is very relevant is that hydrogen is in everywhere. It's a specific regulatory framework that is coming. We focus on the European Union and how to transform and transpose all the European Union regulation and initiative into specific actions and proposals to European customers. For sector integration, clean energy package, Fit for 55, Safe Gas for Safe Winter, how this is transposed into the national energy and climate plans. We have then to understand how the codes for gas and electricity is going to be, the technical codes, how they're going to be developed to enable that gas, hydrogen, and electricity pass from one country to another country. And all the technical knowledge is very needed. Also, we have the final consumers. The final consumers are the ones that have to pay for the electricity, that have to pay for the gas, and have to pay for the production of the different processes that they are producing in the different industry. So at the end of the day, all this, when you're talking about hydrogen, translate into many different proposals and areas that are not only the technology of hydrogen, that is what most of the people are focusing on, but it's also about how you use hydrogen to be flexible for the mix, for the grid mix of energy. Talking about gas and electricity, when you have hydrogen, you need less gas and you can optimize the use of electricity. And when there is more electricity than the one you need to consume, you can use this hydrogen production as a flexibility for electricity consumption to use the hydrogen at a later stage. So there are many things that is not only about the technology and the infrastructure of hydrogen, but how you plan the mix and how you integrate all this in the sector. Is also need a lot of skills, and we are talking about digitalization skill. We are talking about artificial intelligence skill, optimization, modeling, mathematics. So all this kind of planification to allow energy transition, the use of renewable energy and green hydrogen need to be put and taken into place when we are looking at the skills we need from young people to develop and to use the best of hydrogen, green hydrogen. So what I wanted to give you at the end is a picture of how we have a traditional system today, electricity system mostly. We have a climate crisis. We have an energy crisis right now because of the lack of the crisis of Russia and Ukraine. We have targets of hydrogen, green hydrogen. We have targets of renewable. We have targets of interconnection. We have different targets. And this is what we have today. And how we have to fight this is with tools of digitalization, tools of decarbonization and energy efficiency. We need to fight this with the gasification measures and planification on how to use less gas and less dependent of gas from Russia. And we need to make our economies competitive. And there is the skills that we need from the young people to bring into the traditional and the current electricity system. And on all this, we have from the traditional system to solve the climate crisis, the energy crisis, and to get to the targets that we achieve, green hydrogen is kicking a solution for all of them. And this is what I wanted to give today, a short overview that hydrogen is infrastructure, is production of hydrogen, but it's many more things. You need artificial intelligence, you need modeling, and there are a lot of digitalization capacity that we need from the skills of young people to bring the best of hydrogen into the energy transition. And that was the message I wanted to kind of leave to you today with. I'm sorry for the sound problem before. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alicia. I think your highlight on the many areas of the green hydrogen effect and the seed on the today's situation and the way forward was really helpful, and how you ended on the essentiality of the skills diversity and the capacity on building according to how green hydrogen is solving and with the European targets on green hydrogen. Thank you so much for being here and talking about the decarbonization, the digitalization, and the degasification on the 3Ds on how young people can really take it forward. So thank you so much once again for being here.
Thank you, Ms. Carrasco, for your intervention. Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Stanley Angbu. He is a creative technologist and storyteller who is also the co-founder of Light Ed, a startup that recycles electrical waste to create energy solutions for rural families. Stanley is passionate about utilizing technology to help in the mitigation of climate change and the creation of a world where everyone has equal access to clean, affordable energy. Stanley Angbu is an international recognized award-winning innovator and filmmaker. He is the winner of the World Bank Pitch Competition 2022 and the J&J Champions of Science 2020, amongst other prizes. Welcome, Mr. Angbu. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Awesome. Can you hear me? Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley Angbu, and I am sorry I can't have my camera on because currently at the workshop, we are having a lot of work. So my name is Stanley Angbu, and I am a creative technologist, and I am the CEO of Lighted. So my work as a young person in development of renewable energy solutions spawns around using the materials we have around us. So as a young person, I always believe that to change the world, you don't need $1 million, but you just need to identify the right problems that you want to solve. And I listened to one of the previous speakers, and she said we should always ask ourselves what problem do you want to solve, not what do you want to become. And I feel this is a key essential question that I ask myself as a young person. And development of renewable energy solutions as a young person came from me experiencing the problem. I spent 11 years of my life using candle and kerosene lamp to study, and I can tell you right now, I have few health issues related to respiratory issues related to the cost of using kerosene lamps to study. So knowing the problem and have witnessed and have been a victim of the problem of poor lighting solution and also pollution inspired me to develop solutions that could solve that problem, because I believe as young people, we should look at the problems that we are currently facing and make sure that the younger generation coming after us or the next generation coming after us do not face the same problem. And that is what I started doing. So I identified that electronic waste was a very big problem in Africa, because a lot of the electronics that are being used in the US, in China, that people have discarded, find their way to landfills here in Nigeria, in Ghana, and in some other African countries. So people try to recycle them the wrong way by burning them or by discarding them, and those harmful ways affect the environment. And then I ask myself that, how do we use those electronic waste to solve problems? And during the process, we found out that 90% of electronic components on electronic boards were still usable. So you could have a television and it could only be two components that were damaged and people just threw it away without knowing that 90% of the components on the board were still usable. So we then took time, it took us 7 years, 10 failed solutions to get to light it. And then we designed a solution that uses electronic waste to power people's houses by building solar powered stations. And that was one of the key places and the key factors that we're looking into. How do we use electronic waste to develop hardware technology that will be run by green energy and also renewable energy? And that is the direction that we're moving into. And I believe that young people should, I always say to young people, my students and people that I work with, I don't think Africa and some other parts of the world are underdeveloped. I think they are misdeveloped. And the reason I'm saying misdeveloped is because we try to solve our problems the Western way or other ways that other countries are solving that problem. Avoiding the factor or not looking at the fact they have different problems, they have different cultural values, they have different traditional values. And based on that, that is how we design our solutions. We design our solutions to solve the African problem, the Nigerian problem, the Nigerian way. And we're developing models that will help other countries and other places to develop their solutions based on the available resources that is in the country, and will limit dependence on other countries, because I always say other countries also have their problems. And I believe the best way to solve your problems is by collaboration, but at the same time, having some level of independence on using the resources you have available in your country. And yes, I believe the advice I have for young people across the world is to solve a problem, you have to look around you, identify the closest problem that you are part of, or you are a victim of that problem as well, because then you're solving that problem passionately. Find resources that you have available, start small, then before you know it, the world will recognize you and you would gain access to more funding to expand what you're doing. And that's from my own perspective as a young person that is solving problems and have provided close to 5,000 people in Nigeria through refugee camps and schools in rural communities access to clean energy. And I believe expanding my impact will be based on working with young people, developing more innovative solutions through electronic and plastic waste, and also providing people access to green energy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for your remarks. It is such a privilege to share that. It's a privilege to share that Stanley really had an 110% revenue rate for the work that he has solved. And as Eric always keeps on telling, economy and ecology can go hand in hand. And Stanley's work as a pitch winner in the World Bank, and also very recently to be given to be awarded by a prestigious institution on his regular solutions in engaging young people from the villages, from the marginalized communities, and creating the solutions that really brings and lead forward to what Jonas always tells me is to lead climate solutions and to accelerate with young people on leading towards strengthening this movement altogether. So thank you so much, Stanley, for being here and for all the great work that you have been doing all across.
Thank you so much for having me. I super appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone, and happy International Youth Day for everyone. All right. Bye.
Yes, Alok, would we have the...
Yeah, thank you once again, Salis. Today on this day, I would love to say that we are also celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav on the occasion of 75 years of independence. Now, I would love to announce that we have signed the MOU with Dr. C.V. Raman University. I'd like to introduce Dr. Arun Joshi, who is the Vice Chancellor of Dr. C.V. Raman University, is accredited under ISEC, which is India's largest education training, skill development, services, and e-governance network with a pan-India presence of over 23,000 centers across 29 states and 3 union territories. After from various journals, Dr. Joshi has authored organic farming policy for the state of Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Joshi has wide exposure of international institutions and universities in United Kingdom, many European countries, and SAARC countries. He has been international consultant with DFID, GTZ, GIZ, ISAF, World Bank, and many such multilateral donor organizations. I would like to request Dr. Joshi to explain about the MU. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. And it's a real nice evening on the eve of this 75th independence anniversary, the Amrit Kal, what our Prime Minister very rightly says. And I was having, I just came from the university, and I had a little problem joining this from my car, but then finally I got it through. And yes, I had a big program this afternoon when I had all the judges from the district and civil courts to my university, and we were doing this plantation campaign here. The rainfall this time in this part of the country is very good. In fact, it's more than what normally we expect. So it's a good thing. And I was talking about many things. I've been always interested in climate issues, being an agriculture student all through my life, and working with the tribals and working with the small marginal farmers and all. The university is situated in a rural setting in the western part of Madhya Pradesh, the district called Khandwa, and it's not in the Khandwa town itself, but it is in a small village. It's a nice, sprawling, huge campus of about 60 hectare land, all green this time. And yes, students from all walks of life, from the rural setting, mostly the scheduled tribe people working with us. And the key issues we deal as agriculture, food processing, dairy science, horticulture, animal husbandry, livestock, especially the small ruminant component, energy. Of course, energy is one of the most important thing. And in my last 40 years of my professional life, I've been working on these issues in all parts of the country. When I met first Shailesh ji in Bhopal, and I was also sharing the dais and talking to people there, and I find it very interesting, the green hydrogen production and green hydrogen technology per se. And I believe that this green hydrogen technology belongs to the rural people. Actually, it's for the rural people, produced by the rural people, and they should be involved more and more. So I volunteered, and from the dais itself, I said, okay, if Youth for India is working on this very important futuristic thing, we would like to I would like, as representing the youth from the university, almost 4,000 rural youth in the university, and I wanted to really hook them with Youth for India movement on various aspects, and this green hydrogen production is one of them. So when I came back from that workshop, I explained to my colleagues, and they all become very interested. So then Shailesh ji then says, okay, can we have another MOU? So I said, yes, okay. This MOU is all about, dealing with various dimensions of green hydrogen production in the rural setting. I volunteered from my side that, okay, why not with Youth for India, Madhya Pradesh chapter, we come up with a state level green hydrogen policy. I have been dealing with these policy issues at the government level, being non-bureaucratic person, technocrat to some extent. I authored, as mentioned in my CV, that yes, I was involved, very heavily involved. In fact, single-handedly managed to get this organic farming policy for Madhya Pradesh, and it is still the most futuristic looking policy, where I have already mentioned some such things as you are talking about the energy security, which is upfront in my mind, because agriculture, to my mind, is a jobless growth. If you grow crops and you increase the production, but you don't create the jobs. For creating the jobs, you need to really process the commodities, agriculture produce, farm produce. And for that, you need to have energy. And then you need to have the cheaper energy. You need to have the unabated supply of energy. And you produce the energy then and there itself. So there are many ways, actually, the solar, the wind, the bioenergy. And now this is coming up, is this new green hydrogen energy. Water, yes, it is available throughout the year, if not in plenty, at least in 4-5 months, the monsoon season, enough water is available and one can really make use of that. Otherwise, it goes to the great river Narmada, and then it goes to ocean, and then we lose the opportunity. So I think these are the points which reinforced my thinking of taking this opportunity with Youth for India, writing up something, doing some practicals in the field, engaging the rural youth into it, and making sure that, okay, they are involved right from day one. So I look forward for, putting up a good policy. Then we can put it to the state government. And fortunately, that day, the ruling party's state president was also present, and he knows me well. And he says, yes, I have written policies for them. May it be the food processing policy, may it be the agriculture policy, may it be the federations of SHGs and the farmer producers companies, which I conducted a big experiment long back in 2003 and 4 and 5. So, we can then go to the government, we can engage them. And very recently, we have started working with the Gram Panchayats, and the new Panchayat elections. After the elections, there are going to be new village councils. There would be huge, campaign for capacity building and training of those elected representatives. So making people aware is the first thing, and then taking some people on board, and then trying something unique, and then it can really create a good impact, may become a mass movement across the state. And then Madhya Pradesh anyway is a landlocked state, and not much of industrialization, not much of ores and minerals left anymore with us. We do not have the seashores available. So it is basically an agriculture state. So it has to really look forward for some such solutions where we can really try and push the rural industrialization, which is purely on the agro industries, not the other manufacturing type of things. And then there we need the energy. And I think the green hydrogen provides us an opportunity. So I'm really thankful to Shailesh ji and Youth for India for providing this opportunity, for considering the university as one good contender, a good partner, in at least in the western part of the state. And of course, then we have the another university, which is my counterpart colleagues there at Rabindranath Tagore University, and we work together in big way. So we can really make it, pan Madhya Pradesh, pan Western Madhya Pradesh. Then we have Bihar and Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh also in our fold. So we have our presence there, our foothold is there, so we can really take it forward to those areas also. And there also, I worked in Jharkhand, I worked in Bihar, and I know there is plenty of water available. That's basically the water surplus basins there, and we can really make use of this technology. The only thing is that we need more experimentation, more information, more data, more people to understand the the costings of this energy, and then how we deal with the upcoming problems. So it provides us challenge, but then let us face, as youth always faces challenge, and I being a very younger than many of you, I assure you that I will definitely take this forward with all you colleagues. Don't go to my bald head and my gray hairs on my beard. I'm still 17, 18, 19 like you. So, and I will always match with your energies, I assure you. So let's work together. I congratulate the Youth for India for such a wonderful, creative, constructive way at looking at national problems and then taking them forward, and engaging into this kind of debates and discussions, and we can have something will definitely come out. Otherwise the youth is stray, unfortunately. And it's not the fault of the youth, I would say. It is my generation who is at fault, not providing enough direction to the youthful energy. So I assure you, with you all youth together, we all can really make it sure that we do something very useful. Thank you very much, Shailesh ji, and thank you very much everyone, and Alok Singh ji, and whosoever is present. I don't know the names. It's great opportunity. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun, for your remarks. I saw that Ambassador had his camera on. Ambassador, do you have some remarks when he talked about the white beard? I don't know. I mean,
No, I did not. I was perhaps speaking to someone here, but looking at the camera. Thank you. Thank you. And very interesting, everything.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun, for your remarks. I think this has become more important as we were in the Green Hydrogen Assembly, and we realized the importance of having green hydrogen prepared with the indigenous communities, with the marginalized communities, with also specific to, if you have to look at the Asia-centric, it has to go even to the rural parts. And while we move that ahead, it is so good to see that you are strengthening our declaration forward, and in also signing this MOU in taking this intergenerational partnership. I don't know about the age of yours, but of course, we all fall in the bracket of the intergenerational partnership that we can think of. So we could have this MOU signed.
I said I am a teenager. You can consider me. Thank you. It was nice. Great. Thank you very much for unveiling the MOU we signed this afternoon, and we shared it. And yes. And we don't, I mean, it won't be a paper, just a document. It would be a real dynamic, actionful thing. Whatever is written there, we will convert that into practice. I assure you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun. Shrikant, are you here?
Can I go ahead? Thank you. Namaste, everyone. I deem it my privilege and honor to introduce Kashika Kapoor, who is one of the most accepted and famous Indian actress and a model who has been constant supporter of our co-founder Sailesh's work. Ms. Kapoor is one of the youngest and first generation girls to make it a remarkable debut into the film industry. She is an international face for the very famous multiplayer battle royale video game, Free Fire. She's been involved in caring for the underprivileged children's need and education, the elderly at old age homes, which she does regularly without informing anyone or posting about it much in the social media. She has participated in a lot of environmental projects and cleanups, championing the cause of sustainability with a commitment to do her part on behalf of Youth of India Foundation. So without much delay, we will have Ms. Kapoor share her thoughts on experiences with climate action. Thank you.
Hi, guys. So I want to firstly thank Sailesh for giving me such an amazing opportunity to be here today with all of you, and wishing you all a very happy International Youth Day. And I'm super excited to be sharing this with you. So I'm really honored and happy to be speaking at a forum where such esteemed speakers from the United Nations and other international organizations have spoken. Truly, young people are the present and the future of any nation. I am simply impressed by Ambassador Rodrigo on such pointed vision of engaging more and more young people at the leadership positions. As a person coming from the field of glamour, I realize that the most affected people from climate change are the marginalized women and girls. I remember vividly during one of my shoots in a village in Rajasthan, how women had to travel to far off places as the lakes have had dried up. And this is similar in many other parts of the world. Climate change is real, and we have to accept that. I'm not going to present you with any facts and figures. All of you know about it already. To some of us, it also has started to create climate change panics, which again means mental health. Climate change not only harms the environment, but it also brings along with it various cross-cutting problems like mental health and many others. Because the post effects are really, really harmful as people get mentally disturbed. And this is something that we as humans don't talk about. So, but what are we really doing? Are we doing something about it? Can an individual actually do anything about it? We keep blaming the governments and others, but what can actually be the solution? This young friend of ours, Sailesh, whom we all know here, started Youth for Green Hydrogen as an individual, and within 4 months, he has mobilized young people from 65 countries and signed 7 historic MOUs in advancing young people to provide climate solutions in achieving the net zero emissions in contributing to achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius. We need more young people like him. At this stage, of course, we as young people continue to build momentum and pressure among groups and governments who do not take climate change seriously. But we also need to come together in innovating, evolving, financing, and building climate solutions. I also work with this organization named PPA, which is Planet for Plants and Animals, on spreading awareness about climate action, climate change, sustainability. We recently also created a mini urban forest back here in Mumbai in collaboration with the United Nations Environment Programme. And yes, we cannot repeat the same mistake again. We got to keep young women and girls part of the process in skilling and providing opportunities for them to be equal leaders in driving climate solutions at all levels. I believe that economy and ecology can go together. We need to restore biodiversity. We need to stop polluting our seas and atmosphere and encourage sustainable development and learn to coexist with other living beings. We all know what plastic pollution has done for the environment. Who are the losers? It's just we and the animals. Fishes, they get tangled and injured in the debris. Eating plastic bags for food. Such horrific attitude can only change when civil society organizations, individuals, private companies, and governments come together and take action. I remember when Sailesh started UN Plastic India in 2019. He went along with his team in bringing 2 lakh young people pledge in eliminating single-use plastic. And I am aware that those actions created a behavioral shift. Not only that, he also gave solutions for plastic cups and other things, which has now become a basic thing in India. International institution, when accepted the call for Global Unplastic Day, it made us stronger that single-use plastic has to be banned. And now, And now this has been implemented because the state and the central governments implemented the ban on single-use plastic from July 1st, 2022. Thus, all of us need to come together in accelerating the climate solutions. I am myself engaged in the regular marine pollution prevention and cleanups. I must tell you that 100% of a cleanup is extremely difficult. Very, very, rather next to impossible for some items. Have you taken a selfie with the Pacific garbage patch? You will realize how real the climate change is then. And what have we done as humans? I practice some of these in my daily life. So you need to recycle more, guys. Change light bulbs. Stop using disposable coffee cups. They are extremely, extremely harmful. You need to look to join a movement that uses scientific facts to see the truth about the emergency. We need science now. We need people to get together. So conclusion of this is that climate change is a global issue, not an individual issue. And thus we need to come together as one global family in addressing it like we are doing today. All this is possible when you and I start demanding our governments for green hydrogen. Responsible choices can make a difference. So join with me in this journey of green future as I continue my efforts in advancing youth for green hydrogen. I really, really hope that all of us can come together and make a change, because I've realized one thing, that action starts with a thought in your head. Once you create that thought, you can act upon it. So I think to be able to think of climate change as a huge problem today, each and every day, is going to push you and motivate you as an individual to come together with groups and make a change. Thank you.
Kashika, that looked more like the, that was fantastic. Ambassador Rodrigo has his hands up, supporting for the way you spoke. And I am so glad that you really brought back all our work from the past in 2019 when we started this Unplastic with Ravi. And it has been amazing. Thank you so much for all the advancements that you do. I think you coming from the field of glamour, as you mentioned, would really advance in taking it forward. When you would come out and say that, yes, we need green hydrogen. Of course, as Dr. Arun Joshi rightly mentioned, that awareness is the first step. And I think when we have celebrities, influencers like yourself, that would really advance. And thank you for mentioning that cup. Ambassador Rodrigo, if you would remember, in the event of Gandhi, we had it for you. And you spotted it saying the glass of the century as well. So thank you so much, Kashika, for being here and for all
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Allow me to introduce Jonas Moberg. Jonas is the CEO at Green Hydrogen Organization. Before, he served as a lawyer for the Swedish Ministry of Foreign Affairs, posted to Mozambique and the UK before working in the office of the UN Secretary General, and later as the head of Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. In 2015, he, together with Eddie Ritchie, wrote the book Beyond Governments, Making Collective Governance Work, Lessons from the EITI. Now, Jonas will introduce us to promoting a just and inclusive energy transition through intergenerational partnership. It's an honor to hear your expert opinion, Jonas. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, guys. You've heard from so many people. I'm sure you don't really want to hear from me as well. Look, congratulations. This is great. And yes, you mentioned there this book that was about entrepreneurship and a kind of governance entrepreneurship. And I think that's exactly what you guys are doing. And as Salish said, it's not just about creating a movement campaigning for that the current situation is wrong. It's also the importance of the young, you who are responsible in the future, to demonstrate that you see solutions. And I think that is where much of the power in the network that you have created and that you're now building globally lies. And I hope that over time, what you're doing on green hydrogen can be, in a sense, run in parallel with similar solutions-oriented networks amongst the world's youth. So good luck with it all. I think it is truly important what you're doing. I also think that and a number of you have mentioned it, that one of the really important things you can do is to create a network, build an alumni, a group of young people, and start to help them in their career choices, in what they are going to work on in their lives, by sharing information, learning about the future of our economy, by drawing their attention to where the solutions lie and where jobs, interesting entrepreneurship is going to be in the future. And one thing that I've learned since I started to work on this is, from own mistake, is I think we've talked way too much about green hydrogen. We need to talk much more about the green hydrogen economy. And I say that meaning that, of course, it's not just a commodity, but actually what this is about is a pretty fundamental redesign of our society. It is so much that is going to shift. We're going to produce steel differently, but also in different places. We're going to produce fertilizers differently, and we're going to produce them in different places, and so on it goes. So it's a pretty systemic change to the way our societies work. And the sooner you can take the young people around the world on that journey, and also demand from us that are part of the old, demand change from us, the better. So good luck with all of that. Now, also, yeah. So I think that's really my message for today. I think that you have made a absolutely tremendous start. Yes, the other thing I was going to say is also, and I think it's great that you're a part of this call, Kirill, and I know that your gang at your university have been involved here. I think that there's a huge amount that needs to be done in terms of demanding, encouraging, in various ways, help shape the future of what we actually study at our universities. Let's, after all, not forget the IEA, which largely is influenced by fossil fuel interests. So the International Energy Agency, they think that at least 12% of future final energy need will be through green hydrogen. We at the Green Hydrogen Organization think it will be higher, at least 20%, possibly as much as a quarter of final energy use. In other words, once again, it's a massive transformation that we see in front of ourselves. And the earlier we understand this, the sooner it's going to happen. And you're providing a truly exciting way of making it happen. Thank you, Sailesh, and all of you.
Thank you so much, Jonas, with the ocean of knowledge that you possess, and of course, thanks to you for curating and in welcoming the youth for green hydrogen. The way you and Eric really took it forward in the assembly and provided the platform when we keep on complaining that the opportunities are not provided to young people. And when we see you, when we see Rebecca, we see Eric, we see Andrew, it's completely different. And I think what you have spoken so rightly about network building, about encouraging more and more universities in taking up the subject of the future, and specifically green hydrogen, it was very monumental. I remember when you said about the 12%, I think even 20% when you mentioned, you underrated it, because we look at 1/4 of the energy at green hydrogen. And if that 5% could really come from young people, when you said that young people should demand the old for green hydrogen, so I think 5% could be the contribution that all young people could really add up to the vision that the Green Hydrogen Organization has. To all the people who are here, it is also very interesting when Jonas talked about sharing information. I would quickly share on what the Green Hydrogen Organization has recently launched. Okay, this is, please give me a minute. And here you go. So we have the Green Hydrogen Country Portal. So people who are more interested in learning about what are the other countries going on green hydrogen, please sign up to this portal and see if your country has already come on board in leading the effort. So thank you so much to the entire organization for that. And it is also very monumental for a young person like myself, as we continue to build our efforts in leading young people for energy transition. We realize how should a network move forward. Of course, it is very interesting to see that within a short span of 4.5 months, we have more than young people from 65 countries coming and strengthening youth for green hydrogen. And with this, today, we also launch one of the taglines, which came after a lot of support. And again, Jonas, Ravi, Eric have been very supportive in strengthening this. So we will have our tagline, which is the youth accelerating the climate solution as moving forward from here to the next journey. So thank you so much once again. And we are happy to take this forward.
Thank you, Sailesh. Now we will continue with the Bangladesh chapter launch. So I'm pleased to announce Kai M. Al-Munem Siddiqui. He forms part of the University of Development Alternative in Dhaka, Bangladesh. So it's an honor to have you here and share a few words with us.
Thank you so much. Greetings to all. And happy International Day, happy International Youth Day. My name is Munim. I'm from Bangladesh. I'm representing Bangladesh, and about the topics I'm talking about right now, it's green hydrogen. We all know that our fossil fuel are going to be ended at a certain moment. So green hydrogen is very effective, and it will be very good decision for us to, as soon as we establish, to develop our world and the nation and everything. So Mr. Silas, thank you so much to capture me to represent from Bangladesh. Just few days ago, I heard about the green hydrogen project, and just you think about your country. I'm also a little bit worried about Bangladesh because I am the first person who is engaging with the green hydrogen. Nobody else know about this green hydrogen. So I have a lot of things to do in this project. I need to work with the Bangladeshi youth, and I need to make awareness because the fossil fuels is limited, and we all are facing right now the world warming, the temperatures is increasing day by day, and everything is getting difficult. So I'm so glad to be a part of the green hydrogen, and all the members, the UN ambassador, and they speak all things before I joined. I think they already highlighted all the things. The different part of the world, we have only one ambition: to save our world. And with establishing this green hydrogen project, I think we can make great things into the world. And if we work together, I think this world will be better for us, because this world is ours, and we have a great responsibilities to make it beautiful, to livable, and to stay together. I think that's it from me. Thank you so much, Silas. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Muneen, for coming up in leading the efforts in Bangladesh. as it was informed by you, it seemed like this would be the first ever such green hydrogen project in Bangladesh. Of course, there has been a hydrogen pilot project, but it was not specific to green hydrogen. So while you lead this with young people across Bangladesh, this could be really strengthening to the efforts in making sure that even Bangladesh, as you envision, step up. And with your youth movement and with your network with the higher officers, would really strengthen in taking this ahead as well. Thank you so much, Muneem, for that.
Thank you everyone for the wonderful participation. Now we are happy to open the floor to questions. If anyone has any questions, thoughts, or comments, please feel free to ask. I would urge everyone, whoever wants to ask questions, to please raise your hand, and then our team would be unmuting them, and then they can ask their questions specifically to the speakers, or they could even write to us in the chat box and we'll put across their questions to the speakers.
Oh, yeah. Shrikant, I think you have done a fantastic work. And to all the speakers as well who are here. All the message was very clear, and I think it is very nice. But anyway, if any one of you would have any questions, please feel free to put it on the chat box or write an email to us. More than happy to direct it to the concerned speaker, and more than happy to answer it ourselves if it requires our intervention. With this, we have our co-founders video. Okay. We have someone already here, Shrikant. So if you would want to take that.
Alexandra, could we please unmute Alex?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depend on the hour that I talk with you. I'm come from Cote d'Ivoire. I don't have a question. So I have some issue with my camera, so this is why I'm muted. So I don't have question, but I want to congratulate everyone for this initiative, and I appreciate that. It's a very amazing initiative, and I want to encourage this. And as someone say, it's very important to have the network around this topic, green hydrogen, because our purpose is to save our planet. So I want to thank everyone and to congratulate everyone. Thank you very much for this initiative. This is what I want to say.
Okay, thank you so much, Alexandra. And so we move ahead. We have Ravi's video message, who happens to be another co-founder along with Eric and myself. Ravi, of course, has over 20 years of experiences working with children, youth, and women's development issues, with focus on social inclusion, social justice, and inclusive participation. Apart from being a senior advisor on strategic partnerships and advocacy to the Deputy Executive Director of the UN Women, he has also been the Global Advisor on Youth, Consultant, Global Advisor on Youth for UN Habitat, and many more. So could we have his video message, please?
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, Sailesh and team, for really bringing so much momentum to the Youth for Green Hydrogen movement. And I really want to applaud all the key people who are speaking today and really recognize that there's such a strong demand from the world, which is really coming from the oil and gas industry, really failing the world when it comes to climate action. I think green hydrogen is clearly the fuel of the future. we need to invest in young leaders, both young women and men, to really innovate, create, and find sustainable solutions to climate crisis. And I think with all the important discussions today, I think we are getting there, and we must keep the momentum forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that message, Ravi. Before we leave, I am just going to share 5 slides, and this slide will describe how we started back in late March and early April, and how it has moved forward. You know, back in March 28, when we had a vast consultation on if young people knew about green hydrogen, and if you could see, only 30.8% really knew what green hydrogen was. And now, exactly after 4.5 months, on August 12th, 81% of people who also participated through the online Google forms which we circulated know about green hydrogen. So a 50% shift is what we feel that has happened so far. Now, again, when we go back to June 5th, when we had the virtual event, it was 45% people who had participated, who have again participated for the continuous events in July 12th on Skilling for Youth Green Hydrogen, and then today on the intergenerational partnerships as well. And if we see exactly, if you go more in detail, it is 30% who have participated in both the events, but 30% are more and more young people who have traveled, who have come across from different countries, participating and learning and having the energy and the inquisitiveness to know more about green hydrogen. So of course, this is today with August 12th, we had 30 countries who had participated, and this could be the figure, but 22% comes morely from the Asian region, and the 11% came morely from the European side, and others, then it is scattered. And while we were 62 countries in the last event, 3 more countries of Senegal, New Zealand, and Botswana got added, and we have 65 countries mobilized over the last 4.5 months. So I think it is very interesting to congratulate each one of you, to thank each one of you, our speakers, esteemed guests, and to all of you who have been joining in from different parts of the world. It's morning, it's evening, it's going to be. And to all our partners as well, the Green Hydrogen Organization, the Youth of India. Of course, we cannot really move out with thanking and being grateful to Ministry of Shipping, Ports and Waterways for coming up and in saying that we really want to take that forward of green hydrogen with young people through decarbonization of maritime sector as well. So thank you so much, all our partners, to Claire, to the High Star Energy, to the G17 network, to the Dr. C.V. Raman University, and to the Bangladesh chapters, to the Namibia, and to the Honorable Minister of Mines and Energy from Namibia for strengthening our Youth for Green Hydrogen chapter in Namibia as well. Kirill, Maria, Mariana, Sneha, Shrikant, fantastic work. And I am sure, Alok, you have done equally well. So thank you so much for all your moderation in making sure that you hold the mic well. And to the back team in the secretariat, Chandan, Akash, to making sure that you put the mic on, mute and unmute at the right time. Sometimes it happens that you have the control. Of course, I can speak, but if you mute me right away. So thank you for making sure that no one loses their voice at the right time. And I'm so grateful once again in leading this forward, in strengthening this initiative with all our efforts, with all of you coming together, in making sure that the young people have their place, making sure that the young people can lead, and in making sure that the young people are the future and the present. So thank you so much once again. Happy International Youth Day, and namaste, bye, ciao, dhanyawad. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Good night. Thanks.
Thanks, Sailesh.
Thank you. I think we also have a group picture if all of you are here and would like to turn on your cameras maybe. Okay, thank you.